Fairy tales begin once upon a time. So do the stories of government and religion. Once upon a time, most people were uneducated and superstitious, thus enabling governments and religions to abuse the people by forcing them to obey the law of blind obedience. This law locked all non-elite into the prison of do not think, where they remain to this day. This binding law made controlling the masses simple, as easy as stealing candy from a baby. However, in much of today's world, those factors no longer exist, and therefore our modern educated society should have brought an end to fairy tale leaderships. But today's elite, like those of yesteryear, love total control and dictatorship. Therefore, they continue to support and adhere to the contemptuous rules and strategies of yesteryear, keeping most locked in a simpleton's world, while the elite gorge on the hot air of their false superiority. I believe in God, the Catholic faith, and democracy. I trust God, but not the leadership of the last two. Flawed leadership is common in governments, unions, religions. But let's look at this through the window of religion. Church claims church is holy, clergy are saintly. Therefore, church demands blind obedience to their leadership. Never the best policy. What could possibly go wrong? One abuse is one too many, but throughout the church's history, child sexual abuses could be in the millions. Yum, yum. Look at that cute little server. Ooh, now I know why we wear this costume. Hides our swelling pride. 2010, Germany's Catholic Church lost 180,000 members, due in part to child abuse scandals. Would like to leave the fixing in the hands of the church, but can't trust them. Never know where their hands have been or if they have washed them. Time to clear the cobwebs from this antiquated dogma. What is holy? What is dignified? What should we follow with blind obedience? Love, pure love, and only that which magnifies love, pure love. The church's great charitable vision is perfectly clear when viewed through a cash register. Too many posts in governments and religious organizations awarded by money. Pope Leo X of the rich Medici family purchased his position in the church. Pope John Paul II did nothing to stop Mexico's pedophile priest, Marcial Degollado. Degollado's sexual abuses were ignored because of his ability to raise money. Like all governing bodies, the church's elite can be bought because many of them enjoy wealth. A $20,000 tub installed during a $40 million renovation to a German bishop's residence. 2013, Pope finally fired him, or, as the saintly priests say, suspended while awaiting beatification. Makes one wonder, do the religious worship God or money? And one also wonders, do government officials serve the people or wealth and power, and therefore themselves? Blind obedience to inept systems ensures continued corruption by grandiose leaders. We need governments, we need religious concepts, but what we don't need is the inefficient systems designed to support and protect their pompous leaders. Do people need governments? Yes. All forms? No. Only those that respect the people. Do people need a voice in government? Yes. How to make that possible? The Barnes theory of voting. Does the world need religion? Yes. All forms? No. Only those that teach love of the people, by the people, for the people. Is it important to acknowledge and worship God? Yes, but only if that religion's God sanctions peace and gives respect to all people, regardless of gender, color, culture, creed. Personally, do I love God? Yes. Jesus? Yes. The faith? Yes. The love story found in our faith? Positively. But do I respect their leaders? Only in matters of the faith. Should we blindly follow their worldly advice? No, no, no. Why? Too often they are fools when involved in issues other than those of the faith. Does this apply to religious leaders only? No. It must extend to all governing bodies that have the power to install blind, obedient control over the masses. Religions, governments, unions, to name just a few. Finally, something will be done, but will it help the little people? Uncovered, saintly priests playing with saintly nuns. So, to the sound of the angel's horn, the saintly pope will mount his saintly steed and race to rescue the saintly nuns. The church constantly supplies a stockpile of little boys and girls for the pleasure of their saintly priests, which was okay with the Holy Church. But like all big organizations, the elite protect their own. You can play with these, but don't touch these. So, when them saintly priests touch them saintly nuns, the church said, that's a step too far. About time something arrived to wake the church up. Church's elite are generally good leaders of the faith, but too often unimpressive in matters of the world. During confession or when seeking advice, the priest always says, look to the saints. Well, St. Francis de Sales said there are thousands of priests, but only a handful of good confessors. So, in a saint's words, many of those saintly people are not good at that for which they were supposedly trained. Two most important books ever written, the Bible, which frees the soul and leads the person to dignity and love, while the other frees slaves and leads them to true democracy. Yes, believe in God, but believe also in yourself. Dare to love with pure love.